Hi guys, this is Ziggy channel. Please like and subscribe to my channel for very good videos like this. Thank you.
It is a saprophytic organism which grows on moist or damp decaying organic matter such as bread, orange, kenki etc. Structure of Rhizopus. A body of Rhizopus, bread mold, is made up of 5 branching threads called hypha, singular, hypha. A mass of hypha called mycelium is the vegetative part of the organism. The hypha are bounded by a cell wall made of chitin. The tubular hypha lacks cross walls, aseptae, and their cytoplasm continues throughout the cell. Each hypha is multinucleated. The mycelium is made up of 3 kinds of hypha: the stolon, rhizoids and sporangiophores. The stolons are unbranched hypha that grow horizontally into the substrate. The rhizoids are branched hypha that grow into the substrate for absorption of nutrients and anchorage. The sporangiophores are unbranched hypha that bear spore-producing structures called sporania, singular, sporangin, at their tips. Ripe sporania are usually black in color and contain spores. Life processes in Rhizopus undergoes all the life processes except movement. Nutrition. Rhizopus has no chlorophyll and cannot manufacture its own food. It obtains its food from dead decaying organic matter. This mode of nutrition is termed as saprophytism, saprobiotic, and organisms that exhibit this mode of nutrition are said to be saprophytes. On a substrate, food, Rhizopus secretes digestive enzymes onto the substance through its rhizoids. The enzyme digests the complex, insoluble, food materials into simple absorbable forms. They produce the enzymes amylase and protease that digest starchy food materials and proteins to glucose and amino acid respectively. The simple food substances are then absorbed through the rhizoids by diffusion into the hypha of the mycelium. Digestion that takes place outside the cells of an organism is called extracellular digestion. Reproduction. Rhizopus reproduces asexually and sexually. Asexual reproduction in Rhizopus. The asexual method takes place during favorable conditions by means of spore formation. The tip of the sporangiophore becomes swollen with spores to form the sporangin, plural, sporania. A cup-shaped structure called columella occurs at the center of the sporangin. As the young sporangin develops, the dense cytoplasm of the hypha with its numerous nuclei migrate to the tip of the sporangin to form the spores. When the sporangin matures, it darkens as its spores ripe. It then absorbs moisture from the atmosphere and ruptures, burst open, releasing the spores into the atmosphere. The spores are light and dispersed by wind. When they land on any suitable substrate, moist food, they germinate into hypha which then grow into new mycelium. Sexual reproduction in Rhizopus. Sexual reproduction in Rhizopus is by conjugation. It does not occur frequently because it is used as a survival technique against adverse conditions such as drought. Steps of conjugation in Rhizopus are as follows. I2 hypha of different mycelia growing on the same substrate come to lie side by side. The hypha of the 2 mycelia must be physiologically different so that they can be considered to be opposite even though they seem structurally similar. Thus, one hypha is considered to be plus strain and the other is minus strain. 2. The different hypha produce short, swollen side branches called progametina, singular, progametogyn. The progametina elongate and eventually meet. 3. A cross wall develops and cut off the tip of each progametina. This cut off tip with its dense cytoplasm containing several nuclei is called gametina. The gametina are joined to the main hypha by the suspensors. 4. Later, the wall separating the gametina breaks down, mixing their content and their nuclei. This develops into the zygospore, which has a thick black and rough wall. 6. The zygospore separates itself from the reproductive hypha by the shrinking of the suspensors. The zygospore with its thick resistant walls may remain dormant for many months and can withstand unfavorable condition. 7. The light zygospore is carried by the wind until it lands on a suitable substrate where it absorbs water and a new hypha emerges from its thick walls. 8. The hypha grow rapidly producing sporania containing spores for subsequent dispersal upon maturity. These spores will germinate on suitable substrate in different hypha, and, to form a mycelium. Economic importance of Rhizopus and some other fungi. They help in the decomposition of organic matter. Bread mold. Some serve as sources of food, protein, in human. Mushrooms. Some are used in the preparation of beer. Saccharomyces cerevisiae. Some cause the disease foot rot and ringworm. tiny fungus. Some are used to produce antibiotics. Penicillin is produced from Penicillium notatum,